He said, do you want to win scoring championships or NBA championships? Ding, ding, ding. We know as a pilot, he only thinking about one thing. Results. Right? So they went on. He believed in Phil, believed in the process, and they won their first championship in 1991. And here's where us in Chicago, right? This is where we start having championship parades after championship parades after championship parades. Because they went on, right? James Jordan, God rest his soul, right? They went on to win 2. Now, it's a long story, but me and my buddies was in the building at the time that they jumped on this table. After the game, they went in the locker room, and then they came back out because none of the fans left. And this is the Madhouse on Madison, right? And me and my buddies was able to get in the stadium, right, and see them celebrate championship 2. But then the system worked so well, they went on to win 3 in a row. Now watch this. Look who in the back supporting. That's that Scottie Pippen, that grounds crew. And then Mike left. He went to go play baseball, but then he came back 18 months later, and they won number 4 on Father's Day. Now, this time, his father had passed away, so we all saw Michael Jordan fall on the floor on Father's Day while the rest of his team was still out on the court celebrating like after the second one. And he came in to just take his personal time to mourn his daddy. And I think everybody that was watching it probably shed some tears because you saw this man, his body going up and down, bawling because his dad wasn't there to celebrate with him. But the system worked. And it worked so good to where they won number 5. It worked so good to where they won number 5. Again, this pilot, all these different players, the pilot got them up and down safely. Direct, determined, decisive, none of that, all that. And then they repeat the 3-peat. You got the pilot and the air traffic controller. The pilot can't go nowhere without the directions. And they completed it. So the system obviously worked. Now, I'll break this down from a Chicago standpoint because here's one of those times in which we had one of those celebrations. Here's the pilot. Here's the flight attendant, because people came to the game and turned the game on because they didn't know what color Dennis Rodman's hair was going to be. They didn't know if he was going to dive into the crowd. They didn't know if he was going to kick the cameraman, where he was going to throw his jersey. They didn't know what he was going to do, but he brought the experience to the Bulls. It was the hottest ticket in town. But he was the entertainment. Scottie Pippen, grounds crew, whatever is needed, I got your back. Here's the architect of the system, the air traffic controller. Now, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper, Steve Kerr, right? Sean Burrell, I think that's him, right? They all have a personality. They're all one of the 4, but these are the major 4 players: the pilot, the flight attendant, the grounds crew, and the air traffic controller, right? Steve Kerr, we see with Golden State, he's an air traffic controller. He's systematic, but guess what? He was one of the better shooters. He's a system dude. He's a system dude. He don't make changes too readily. He ain't play Jason Tatum in the Olympics. And people got mad. Well, he like, I'm going with what I know works. Like, people didn't understand it. I just sit back and watch, but I understand this science. This is a 100-year tool that was created by the same guy that invented the lie detector test and invented Wonder Woman.